happened here? I'm gonna check out the audio the weirdest way. That means I'm gonna play it right back into the stream because I don't have headphones set up right now. That means I'm gonna play it right back into the stream because I don't have headphones set up right. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bop. 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 Ba-da-beep-beep-beep. Hey. Beep-beep-beep-beep. Whoop. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bop. 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 Ba-da-ba-ba-bop. Oh, hey, ba-da-ba-ba-bop. Hey, ba-da-beep. Ba-da-beep-beep. Burp. Maybe this would be a new way where I just talk to myself via the live stream. What up, everybody? How you doing? I ran a bunch of tests earlier, and the audio sounded good, and then I got paranoid as soon as it started that I wanted to go, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to double-check this. So, happy Friday, everybody. It's not Thursday. Did I just say it was Thursday? It's not Thursday. It's Friday. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I'm over here freaking out, you guys. Losing my marbles, if I ever had them to begin with. What are you doing, dog? Hey. Get out of there. What are you doing? Go away. That's weird. Okay, dog down here going super crazy. Internet! There you go. Is that better? I got the internet in there. All right. Okay, well, we've got the new audio set up. Everything is new. Freshness in the audio. I think it's still a little bit low, so I'm thinking I might have to boost the signal at some point in time, but for today, it'll be kind of quiet, so turn your volume up because it is compressed at 2 different spots. So if it is a little quiet, that's what's going on, but it's good to be here on a Friday. It's been a very exciting kind of haphazard run around kind of day. I've been in here, and then I was over there, and then I was up there, and then I was over there, and then I was over there, and then I was over there, and then the UPS guy tried to attack me or just sneak up and put boxes on the back porch, which was super creepy. Hey, man. I don't know why you're down there licking, but it's freaking me out. Go lay down. What are you doing? Oh, you need up? Okay, come on. Up. All right. That's what it was. The little bitty brown here. Oh, little bitty brown. Oh, little bitty brown was feeling needy, so she was down there licking. All right, so you being a good dog, aren't you? You being a guard dog, attack dog today. Oh, that little bitty brown. Oh, good puppy. Okay, so let's start off the show in a legitimate fashion, like how we normally do with the internet. And then we go on to check out who was first to the chat. I'll give you 1/4 of a guess. So I'll give you 25% of a guess who was first to the chat today. Oh, Franklin Dominguez himself. Franklin Dominguez, quickly followed by Smutsig Disc, which I have no idea how to say that. I think Smutsig Disc is the way to say it. I think I got it right. I think I got it right today, you guys. It must be Friday. Sarah Konopko is here. Happy Friday. How you doing? Mellow Moogle, Aquaman, Potato, Mr. Potato Bro himself. Chris versus Fish is here. Good to see you. Turbo Fish, the Plywood Pelican, Wushu Jimmy Brown. How you doing? Chris's Fish Room is here. I need to make the chat pop out. There we go, so I can read it over here. So I'm looking more into the... Am I looking into the camera? I'm looking more into the camera now, you guys. It's going to be pretty good because I'm kind of like just looking right over there. Who's here? The dogs are freaking out today. Sorry. Let me get back to saying howdy to everybody real quick here. Potato Bro, Glass Boxes is here. Good to see you from New Zealand, my man. How's Mr. Joel Gillett doing himself? Nathaniel John is here. Jennifer J. Sarchicino is here and yet working. Oh, no, she's not working. She's saying the audio is working. I was asking the internet if the audio was working or not. I got, like, this shirt. Like, I can't figure out this top button here. It's like, if I button it, I feel like I'm being choked by a ghost. And then if I unbutton it, I feel like I'm in the 70s. It's kind of weird. Hey! What's wrong? I don't know what's going on with the dogs. They're out there whining. I think there's mailmen are out there or something trying to get everybody. Bentley Pascal is here. Bentley Pascal. I always say your last name, I'm sure, super wrong. So, but bear with me because I like to say things in a fun manner because we like to bring the fun here. Here on the whatever live stream you call this, we like to bring the fun. Speaking of bringing the fun, Jennifer J. Sarchicino had a live stream earlier today, so you should check it out. You can, so up in the chat, if you're live right now, you can actually just hover over one of the comments from the person that I may or may not be talking about. You can click on those three little buttons there, and you can go to their channel, and it'll open up a pop-up. It'll pop open another tab so you can check out their channel. That was a fun little chat earlier today when I was working in here. Jim Meeker is here. Matthew Waybright's here. What's going on? Coombs Aquatics. Jay's Aquatics is here also. Watching you and Bob Steenfot at the same time. What? Is he live right now? Is Steenfot live on a Friday? Weird. Derek Runyon is here. Good to see you. How you doing? Candy Overhauls is here. Nathan Hazlitt is here. Derek Runyon was asking what's up with the ad. So we had a bit of a problem with the YouTube situation of going 000 ads. Basically what it started doing is it started punishing the videos. Realistically, it just started sending them off into the ether. And the problem was that so essentially the middle ground that I could find where I think everybody would be happy is that 5-second intro ad is the only thing that is on the channel now. I'm sorry, it's the best I could do. It's the best I could do if we were going to continue to try and grow a little bit and maybe get out to some other people that are like, hey man, I like goofy stuff. I like goofy fish shows and stuff like that, and want to learn some stuff. So if we're trying to reach some other people, that's going to be the biggest problem. That was going to be the biggest thing. So after a whole bunch of research and some back and forth and stuff, the middle ground is just that 5-second intro video, so or commercial or whatever. So I'm sorry about that. I tried to destroy it all and do the best that I could. It's the best I can do right now. Maybe in the future we'll just be on a whole different platform or something. Wink. Right? Where's Netflix when we need a platform? What's up, Netflix? What are you doing? Slacking? Probably. Taking naps. Probably taking naps in their piles of money, right? That's probably what they're doing. So I don't know. I guess there's a bunch of other shows live right now. Sorry to hear that everybody's all going, everybody's going live, I guess, at the same time on a Friday. That's kind of weird. You know, one of the reasons I picked the 4 o'clock time slot is that we'll be able to broadcast to the most amount of people and also not be a conflict with other people's streams and stuff like that. But I guess if the world is a competing marketplace or whatever, a competing marketplace of free ideas or something, then I guess it's a competition, right? Does that mean it's a competition? I don't know. Doesn't feel like a competition to me because I'm just going to keep making what I'm making, and I guess other people are going to make what they make. I don't know. But back to saying what's up to people. Nathan Hazlitt, how's it going? Good to see you. Jay's Aquatics, which I already said. Greg N. Yeehaw, what's up? BC Fish Room is here. Good to be here. Coombs Aquatics is who I said hi to already. The Turtle Girl is here. How you doing? River Life, what's up? Donald Edwards is here. Master Beta, what up? Nathaniel John, who I already said hi to. Donnie Hill, what's up? Our sound is I hope much improved today. After a lot of work going into it, I think it might be a little bit quiet, but I think it's a lot clearer. I think it's a lot clearer. It's a lot clearer. I have to speak. I have to enunciate. Oh, man. I have to remember to enunciate, because if the audio is good enough, then people will hear me trying to wrangle words in my mouth, right? While I'm sounding like half hillbilly, or whatever. I don't know. But let's see here. Who else is in here today? There's a lot of people chatting. It's Friday. Everybody's super happy. Kevin Keener is here. What's up, dude? My bearded brother. Donnie Hill is here. How you doing? Phil Emerson, what's up, man? Jay's Aquatics. I'll say hi again. Steven Skoglund is here. Glass Boxes. I was the first from New Zealand. That's pretty dope. I just had come in here and brag. I just bought a 6-foot reef-ready glass tank today that was never used, been in storage for 7 years for $350. Well, that's not bad. I would worry about the silicone being in storage for that long. I would first inspect that just to make sure it's still supple, is what you're looking for. When you're inspecting old silicone in like an old glass aquarium, something like that, first that it, obviously that it's adhered all the way around still, and you want to make sure that it's got some suppleness to it, is what, that's what you're looking for. Does it have a little, supple nature to it? That's what you're looking for. So hopefully that's good, but that's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal, $350, but it is a glass aquarium, so I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous of you. If you'd said you got that aquarium that was a handcrafted, beautiful, 3/4 inch thick acrylic tank, I would have freaked out and been, oh man, I gotta figure out where he found that and go find it again. Yo, but I wouldn't be able to find it again because it was a one-time thing, right? But congratulations, that's awesome. Somebody else moving into the big tank club. I like that. I like big tanks, and I cannot lie. I like big fish tanks. I can't lie about it, because that would make me a liar, because I like them. I don't know. Yeah, but either way. Mary Beth Mabe is here. How you doing? I think I said hi to most people. Douglas Medlin, what's up? How you doing? Donald Edwards is here. M. Moncour, what's up? Saying howdy to everybody, which is good. Steels, what? The Cartel is here. Annie Confetti. Oh, hey, Annie Confetti, what's up? How you doing? Trying to catch up on the chat here a little bit. And see what's going on. Okay, Joel, you're the only one that's live now. They both ended. Oh, well, I don't know. I was just saying it was more interesting than anything that if other people were live right now. Cool. I noticed that Philip DeFranco was live earlier. I didn't know that he did a live thing ever. I don't know if anybody else watches Philip DeFranco, but you get some interesting news stories out of that guy. And so I enjoy his little 10-minute show. I normally listen to it while I'm chopping my vegetables and getting ready for dinner is when I normally listen to that one, but I didn't know that he was live. Coons Aquatic saying, Joel, is there anywhere I can download your streams? Love the podcast with Corey, but I need more. You could, well, essentially right now, everything is on YouTube. Everything is on YouTube with the video and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where it's living right now, other than the new podcasts that we're making and stuff like that. As you guys know, Corey's on vacation, so we're sort of in a limbo right now of trying to figure out everything that's going on. I believe I don't want to say what day or whatever the next day we'll be doing stuff, because if something happens, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh man, I didn't get it done. Oh man, But sometime next week, if you know what I'm talking about. But right now, I do have plans to download. I do have plans to download them, and but I do have plans to upload the audio from the live streams like this at some point in time. But realistically, it's gonna be a huge undertaking. Realistically, in the meantime, starting next year, I think what I'm going to do is, because I realistically need to get the money together to do this, but I'm going to be ripping the audio as I send it up, right? So I'm going to rip the audio as it's made, and then what I'm going to do is hopefully, upload that as a podcast episode later on, like probably the following week or something like that, so that we can go through it and make sure that everything is what we want it to be, or whatever, we can edit it if needs to be or something. If there's a part where I just ramble on about squirrels for a half an hour, then it'll be a good, be a way to do that and that kind of stuff. But I do hope to start ripping that stuff down. As you guys know, it is in my plans to start making more shows and more stuff. So as you guys, a lot of the Patreonizers out there know that today was the day where people got charged for last month. We gained some patronizers, we lost a bunch of patronizers, so it's just sort of an influx situation right now as far as any of those kind of real projects go, because we're sort of at the point right now where it's like, I'm just kind of like having to hedge my bets that we'll keep growing and we'll keep doing good and keep doing well and stuff like that. I'm sort of right now just kind of hanging off the cliff of fear right now, is realistically the situation that I got going in my life. I am actually currently at the point of I have to go bid a couple of jobs early next week, some big giant projects that realistically could potentially take me away from being able to do the shows and stuff like that. It's just and it's one of those things that it's one of those situations that I wouldn't, it's not something that I would normally have to, I wouldn't normally like broach the subject like on a Friday show, I guess. Maybe it was something that I might bring up on a Monday show or something along those lines. But it's just kind of heavy on my head today, so I do kind of just want to just get it off my chest, and you guys know what's going on. But I'm going to have to go bid some jobs that will put me out in the field. And by out in the field, I mean like physically out in a field. You know what I'm saying? Like literally out in cow fields. And that means that it starts to put this project in danger. So I'm really kind of trying to juggle 15 different balls right now, and I'm just trying to figure out which ball I should just be dribbling instead of juggling. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what shakes out, and just go with the flow and see what works and what doesn't work or whatever. So that's just kind of where I'm at right now. I'm gonna keep working on stuff and keep making as many things as I can. One of the big ordeals that I'm currently undergoing right now would be like trying to figure out when I could rip this stuff and put it up as a podcast. So basically what I'm going to do with that is so what I have to do is I have to essentially boost the signal and run it through another processor and then have it dump into an SSD, right? So I've actually got to stack 2 SSDs because I can't, and if no one knows what an SSD is, it's a solid state drive, so it's a hard drive essentially. And I was trying to do it with one of my old like storage drives, but it's not quick enough, and it essentially like muddies up the audio, so it makes it just kind of into a real terrible. It just makes it terrible, honestly. You're like, I cannot just sit here and listen to this nonsense. It would be bad enough that if you were trying to watch a video and it had that crappy audio, but if you're like isolated in a room, like, I'm gonna listen to this jackwagon talk for a little while, it's probably entertaining or whatever, and then you're like, I'm gonna have a ocular ear seizure or something. So I'm just working on it, and we'll see what happens. And but I did, like I said, I might have brought this subject up like on a Monday instead of a Friday, because Friday is all about just being excited or whatever, and just having a good, like, answer some questions, talk to you guys, see what's happening. That's sort of the dynamic, but that's kind of what's going on. Frank Dominguez is saying just post videos of the field jobs. I cannot do that. Because of contractual obligations, I cannot post videos of those projects. And I understand that it's like the ins and outs of doing construction jobs or whatever is a little bit weird to people, but more often than not, it's more of a liability than not to have footage, essentially to have footage of anything that's going on in anyone's construction job. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody was to fall down, if somebody was to, you know, drop a hammer off the roof on accident or something like that, and then, you know, just there's so many liabilities that go into it that something could easily just get repaired. Something could easily just get repaired that the you know, uploading of a video and stuff like that later could ultimately just be a huge liability or whatever. So I can't, a lot of those jobs I go out on, I cannot film. I cannot film them. Not to mention that, like, people don't want their property and stuff like that filmed. You know, it's weird for some people that are like, what, you're gonna just, what, you're gonna video my place here and put it on the internet so that anyone could watch it? Yeah, don't do that. So between those two things, it just means that I can't post videos of stuff like that. So, but I do want to give a big shout out to all the patronizers. As of this mark, as of today, so like I said, we lost some, we gained some. I think we're up to 100. Well, now we're down to 133. It's just been wavering around today. Just a weird way. So I don't know. The thing says 136, then it says 133. I don't know. We're jumping around. We're trying to get to that 200, the 200 patronizer mark. That's just where we're trying to get to. So you know how it is. Steven Scoglin says still support 100%, even if it drops to one video a month. Well, I find that doubtful. Well, maybe Steven, I bet Steven would still support, but I really doubt that people would really be that interested if there was only one video a month. If there's only one show a month. Let's see. I'm trying to do the math a little while ago on how many episodes come out for, like, the I was going to say The Walking Dead. That's not the right show. Game of Thrones. Like, how often do Game of Thrones episodes come out? And I think it's even less than once a month when you work out, like, the production schedule and stuff. And I know that people watch that, but I'm not putting out the product of that. I need to hire, like, 60 people in order to do that. 60 people is exactly the number. Well, Aquarium Corey is here and says podcasts suck. Even though I think podcasts in general are pretty cool, except I think Corey and I's podcast might suck, which is why we're just going to keep working on making it better. You know what I'm saying? So just because we're self-deprecating like that. We're self-deprecating fellows that we're like, we got to make it better. We're going to take notes. We're going to make pie charts. We're going to make graphs and all that kind of stuff. And all that jazz, zazz, razzmatazz. Saw your live stream from the beach. Oh, that was Corey's live stream from the beach with the jumping crabs. Thomas Fehrenbach is asking, in my saltwater tank, 150 gallons, it has been set up for about 3 months now with 0 phosphate and 0 nitrate. I was wondering, I believe I have pineapple sponges and feather duster worms, a lot of them are in my sump, but I'm starting to see them in my main display. Feather duster worms, not bad. They're good. Pineapple sponges, also good. Not a bad sign. Generally a sign of a healthy system. There might be a little bit excess. You might have some excess nutrients in there and whatnot, but that's just going to dial down over time. So I wouldn't worry about the pineapple sponges. It's always kind of a new tank thing when you set up a new reef and whatnot. You'll find things like pineapple sponges coming up. Feather duster worms, I wouldn't worry about the feather duster worms. They're just going to be around. So that's going to be good. And so that's a quintessential thing that just from starting out your reef is just going to end up, you're just going to get them. And that's not a bad sign. It's actually a good sign. It means you're going in the right direction with your reef. So I wouldn't stress out about them too much. I certainly wouldn't remove them. I would just keep going with what you're doing on your reef. You know, do your water changes, kind of test your things and see what's happening as you move along. Definitely as you start adding coral and stuff like that, a lot of the nutrients that the pineapple sponges use will just get used up and they'll kind of just go away. But it's a good sign, not a bad sign. Zelf Ernide is asking, hi all, I've noticed that the video's gotten very crisp this whole week. Exactly when did that happen? That is because we have a brand new camera. We have a brand new camera, which I've been dialing in slowly but surely while I yell at the frustrating software that comes along with it. So we're actually broadcasting in HD 60 frames a second right now. With not sure what the resolution is. I think it's just 1080 at 60 frames. So I think it's coming in nice and kind of clear. Gives you guys an idea of exactly how wrinkly I actually am and how weather torn I might be. I'm not as leather-faced as like a cowboy or anything like that, but someday I will be. Hopefully, I'll have a full head of silver hair and leathery skin. But that is basically because the money that comes in here goes back into producing the shows and stuff like that. And then about a week and a half ago, I did tell the story on here. I did switch out the modem and I switched out the service for the internet here, which has ultimately made the Aquarium Co-op folks, Jimmy and Corey, super jealous. So they are actually getting even more internets coming up this week. So I know that there was a live stream with Jimmy this morning where the audio was kind of janky and crackly and stuff like that, but I think that was just a lot of their they have kind of a bottleneck with their internet up there. So hopefully that's going to get super resolved here coming up next week, because you know, that was kind of the issue that I was having here a little bit too. So it's really realistically, what's the word I'm looking for here? Well, we went through the same thing or whatever. I got the new internet, then they're going, screw it, we're going to get the new internet too. And Phil Emerson is asking, may I ask which camera? We actually have the, what is it called? The Logitech Brio is the camera. So that was a crisp $200 bill right out the pocket. But like I said, the contributors and you guys, and like you guys using the, obviously, you know, didn't do all of it, but the you guys using the Amazon banner and all that kind of stuff all contributes little bit by little bit, so we're getting better and better and better at the broadcast. If you guys go to the Amazon, like the wish list thing, which I'm sort of 50-50 on it even existing, because it just feels weird. It just really does. But if you guys go to the Amazon banner, you guys can be one of those people that can kick in and get some of the essential stuff to like expand the show and stuff like that here, with the production and everything. Like one of the reasons that I need to get another one of these cameras is so that I can actually run from here and from the other studio space right there. And be able to actually have multiple people on here and do it in a real nice way that actually works and actually kind of makes sense, instead of just you know, packing everybody up into one corner or trying to shoot one giant wide shot, which right now I could do one giant wide shot, but it just looks weird. Honestly, it just looks weird. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it looks a little bit weird. So, but that is the camera that we're on now. At Charlie List, Aquarium Co-op, and Joel do a podcast together. Yes, we do a podcast together. So that's probably some of the joking that was going on in the chat here. Where'd that go? Oh. People saying you got to do what you got to do to survive. Yeah, I mean, that's really one of those things. It's just one of those realities of life that I got to do what I got to do, because I'm not going to let my family down. You know, I'm not going to let Vicky Toria down and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to just keep rocking and rolling. Blake Rogers is asking, Corvus, am I still a chief/chef? I would say I'm still a chief for sure. Once a chef, always a chef, right? Classically trained under some master chefs. That's who I trained under. It doesn't matter who they are. But as far as anonymity's sake, she is somebody that probably does not want to be mentioned on the internet, just out of whatever. Just private person, if that makes sense. But yeah, classically trained chef guy, and definitely spent a lot of time doing that kind of stuff. So that's one of those things. Phil Emerson says, Joel then will be more tired. That's right. I will just be generally way more tired. One of the reasons I haven't gone back to being a chef is being a chef is like 120-hour-a-week commitment, which would completely cut into all these other projects that I'm doing. So if I'm doing that for 120 hours a week, I won't be able to do the other stuff that I'm working on. So that is going to be problematic if I go back to being a full-time chef. And I haven't necessarily found the opportunity that would actually work out, you know, in a realistic manner to possibly be doing that. But if you really want to be a good chef, you really, really, really have to commit yourself to being there all the time. You have to be there all the time. You cannot just be willy-nilly, never showing up. You could eventually like take over some hotels or something like that and be a clipboard guy, which means you're just gonna like be checking out the Excel sheets and all that kind of stuff, and you know, just making sure that, hey, everything's within budget. Cool, guys. See you later. But those guys aren't really chefs. They're more like just weird managers. So, you know, you should do a tabletop podcast like Joe Rogan with tanks all around you. That would be sweet. Coombs Aquatics, that is the plan up at the Aquarium Co-op. If you've seen some of the behind-the-scenes videos and stuff like that is going on, or not even behind the scenes, I mean, it's just some of the videos they've been putting up. There's been a lot of projects going on at the Aquarium Co-op. I've been up there helping out as much as I can with the ongoing projects and things going up there. That is the overall plan. So hopefully I'll be building the table. There's going to be a big giant table that will be going in there. I'll be building the table and stuff like that with Corey, you know, like teaching him, giving him some tutelage, some tutorization. It'll be a big giant table and all that kind of stuff. And we'll have basically that kind of situation going on, so that if we do a table talk podcast like that, where we just have like a big community table and we can all be mic'd up with the cameras and all that kind of stuff, and then we can interview people that probably aren't necessarily like 100% comfortable with like doing a show necessarily. Like maybe they don't even know how to run a camera, they don't even know how to run a microphone or any of that kind of stuff. So that is one of the projects that's ongoing, and we will be getting further and further down there. Phil Emerson is starting his show soon. He's in the planning stages. Oh, right on. Oleg Reshtov says today's streams sounds very, very good. That's a lot of the work that's been going into this. A lot of the work that's been going in is to make this sound good, get the video better, and then from there start expanding out, like, you know, getting guests on here and stuff. There are some local fish keepers and stuff that I do plan to have come on this show. The only problem with that is I'm not really going to have, like, people come in here and just have it like, oh man, hold on, the duct tape and the Band-Aid fell off, so now the show's not working, you know. So I have to make sure that all that stuff is in line ahead of time and working correctly. And so that's a lot of the work that's been going in here, is making sure that all the software is working together, making sure all the hardware works together. Essentially, it's been a lot of money. I've got extra equipment around here that I should probably sell off or donate or something. I don't know. I'll figure out what to do with it. But that's a lot that has gone on. Oleg also said, nobody cares about anyone's property or construction. It's just interesting, the process itself. Yes. The process of construction is super interesting. The problem is that with contracts and all that stuff that go into it, that I can't go in there and be like, oh, I'm going to be a videographer, your plumber, and your siding guy, and film all these other people that are there too, you know, other contractors and stuff like that, that may or may not. There's just too many there's just too many things that go into it for me to be there paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing, like my job, and also videoing with all these other people running around and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't work out in the way that things go. You know, if I had a cameraman or somebody like that, then maybe I could work it out, because I could make sure that they're not getting shots of other people doing stuff. Like, hey, look, cameraman guy, we'll call him Billy. No, let's call him Stevesy. So I can be like, hey, Stevesy, you got to make sure that you keep other people's projects and stuff out of the frame and whatnot. And but that would also mean that I got to find a cameraman, figure out how to pay him, all that kind of stuff. So it's just not a great idea right now. You guys have seen some of the behind the scenes, like helping out up at the co-op. Now, one of the reasons that works is I just set up a time lapse that's just out of the way. And, you know, I get just kind of some quick shots and stuff like that and throw those up. But also at the same time, at a real construction site where there's trucks coming in and out, you know, mud bogs all over the place and stuff, I would give it a 95% chance that my camera would get knocked over by a truck or a tractor or a trailer or some guy just walking around or some lumber or something. And I'll probably come back and my camera, which is an exceedingly expensive camera in my opinion for my budget, and I don't even know how I'd be able to replace it at this point. So I don't necessarily want to take that risk where I'm just going to have it at a crazy job site like that. You know, people are saying like, oh, you mean like a Jimmy? Jimmy's super expensive. He's way out of my budget. I need to find like Jimmy, not Jimmy 2.0. I need to find like Jimmy 0.1. Like, so if Jimmy's 1.0, I need to find like the 10th of him version or something. I need like some 14-year-old kid named Jimmy. Like, hey buddy, I'll pay you $20. You want to not steal my camera, but shoot some stuff with the camera. Hey, check out the f-stop. Make sure that your exposure is correct. Yeah, you know. So, well, you know, but either way, I just, you know, I don't mind talking about some of the stuff that's going on in my life, just to let you guys know. Let you guys know what's happening. Thomas Fehrenbach says, thanks for saying my last name correct, and thank you for answering my questions, and I love the show. Watch it all the time. Well, you're very welcome, Thomas. I I'm always super enthusiastic about the fact that there's the availability nowadays to be able to do this kind of stuff. It's like, gonna do this project, gonna do this show, gonna get all this stuff, gonna put it all together, gonna figure out what I can do, what I can't do, blah blah blah, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm super appreciative that you guys come here. I'm super appreciative of the Fish Fam, all you guys, and also the availability. It's like the internet, man. And I could sit here and talk about how the internet's in danger or whatever. I think that it is, but once again in our country, it's going to come down to 5 people voting on whether or not Comcast and all those crappy companies can throttle the internet and stuff like that. So I don't know, spam the FCC and tell them to not vote for it. But once again, we've come up with these giant votes where there's just 5 people are going to vote. There's five humans out of 380 million. We have 5 people that are going to vote on something that affects everybody, which is completely insane. It's totally insane. There's literally over, let's see, 15, there's 13 times that many people right now watching live in the chat than the people that are going to vote on whether or not the internet will be throttled by giant companies. It's crazy. It's crazy that we have the availability nowadays. We have the technology to be able to do this kind of stuff, and yet we just leave everything in the hands of these very small groups of people. It's pretty crazy. So hopefully we'll be able to keep doing it in the future. Hopefully we don't get squashed by AT&T or whatever giant company just decides, never mind, get out of here. So we'll see. Oh, and anybody wondering about that shrimp painting right back there, that is Jennifer J. Sarchicino's shrimp, which is 99% done. I'm going to be doing a couple highlights and a clear coat on it and sending it on down the road. Well, it's drying right now, basically. I'm just letting it cure so I can stick it in the mail. Let's see. Frank said, camera, microphone, what are those? I think the cameraman should be called Wayne. Ooh, it would be nice to find a cameraman named Wayne. Where are you, Wayne? Wayne, where are you? Oh. We have the HD camera, so now I can actually like bring it up here and show you guys. So I've got a little more detail work to do. It's like kind of overexposed. You can't really tell what's really going on there. It looks better in person than on the camera. All right, maybe it's 97% done. So I've got a little bit of work to do on it, but not a big deal. It'll be heading out to Jennifer very, very soon. So let me catch up on the chat here a little bit. I want to see Apple buy Verizon, Google buy AT&T, and Amazon buy Sprint. Sprint's not the big one. What are the big ones? Comcast, AT&T, and Verizon. So I think the one that you have wrong there, Rarutu, is the Sprint, because Sprint's already been bought. Sprint was bought by... Wait, was Sprint... No, maybe Sprint wasn't bought. Nextel was bought by Sprint, and then I think Sprint's for sale from somebody else. But I think the other one that you're looking for is AT&T. Instead of AT&T, it's Comcast. Comcast is the big one. Comcast is the big internet provider that is in favor of the throttling of the internet. And Sprint was gonna merger with AT&T. That's right. Yeah. Marutu says Time Warner and Comcast. Yeah. So it's a lot of those. There's like a couple. There's like a couple of people that are in favor of this whole situation, and it'd be super easy to figure out who they are, because it's really not all that confusing of what they want to do, and yet they've managed to get the chair of the FCC, the new guy, to fall in line somehow. I'm not sure how they did it, and I won't speculate on how they did it. But my guess, if I had to guess, it would be in the form of probably a check with some zeros on it. Patreon reminded me to make my voice heard. Oh, right on. Make your voice heard. Right on. To the dark webs we go. Where are the dark webs? You do not want to go to the dark web. That's not somewhere you want to be. Honestly, don't go there. Don't do it. Rutu's asking, do I need to get a virtual private network now, a VPN? Now would be a good time to get into it. If you wanted to get into virtual networks, now would be the time to get a virtual network, because if that, I forget when that vote is. The vote might be the 10th or the 14th or something like that, or maybe they already did it. I don't know. But if it does get going, a virtual private net will probably be your best bet. At least to just be able to, because with the virtual private net, you'd at least be able to hook all the people into the stuff that you want to go. So even if it is like throttled, that you'd still be able to share around it and be able to at least operate and get the things out there that you wanted to really get out there. So maybe it would take a couple minutes to download somebody's video or something like that, but it's kind of a nightmare, realistically, also, trying to do it. As you guys know, Friday we don't normally have a video segment, but this Friday we do. And it is pretty terrible because I didn't have any time to edit any video or anything today. Just working along, getting this stand built. And as you guys can tell, the stand still looks like hell because it doesn't have the trim or the or any of the detail work or anything on it yet. But I guarantee you it will get trimmed out and look just like the other stands in the fish room. So it'll get stained, it'll have black trim on it, and it'll match the other ones. Wanted to mention to people out there, as far as like when I construct stands, you guys will notice that I do them differently all of the time. And one of the big reasons I do them differently all the time is because how much material do I have on hand? If I have material on hand to do it one way, I'll do it that way. If I don't have that material to do it the way that I want to do it, then I'll do it a different way so that I can accommodate the amount of materials that I have. I've constantly seen that there are a lot of arguments online from people that are like, you've got those boards going the wrong way, you're using the wrong type stuff, you're using the wrong this, you're using the wrong that, da-da-da-da. And let me remind you guys, when it comes to building aquarium stands, there's not one good way to do it, unless you were going to say the right way, right? Like, you know, that it works and doesn't fall over and doesn't collapse in on itself. That would be the right way to do it. So as you guys know, I do build a lot of stuff, and so I oftentimes build things different ways just because of material. So I didn't buy any material to build this stand. This is all stuff that I just had in my shop. All of the cut ends, leftover 2x4s, things like that from other projects and things along those lines. So I figured out how many board feet of what I had and what I didn't have and what I could build out of it. And guess what? I can build a stand that's going to fit in the fish room. So like I said, this thing isn't finished. It's still in its real raw state. So it's not like real pretty or fancy or anything like that. And obviously those the goofy screw holes and overlapped boards and all that stuff will get covered up by all the trim work and the door and all that kind of stuff. So that so take that into consideration. But that's basically the look of it and how it's there are the holes cut out for the overflow and stuff like that. So let's check out this video right here. I don't even know what happens in this one. I'm just back there carrying stuff around. It's heavy enough that it's heavy, but it's not so heavy that I can't carry it. So I can at least carry it and move it around. That's always something I take into consideration of not adding extra material to a stand, is because I'm going to probably end up moving that thing around by myself. And if I have just way too much material in there, guess what? I won't be able to lift the dang thing. So I always have to take that kind of stuff into consideration, and that is probably one of my biggest focal points that I think about when I'm building a stand or anything like that. Also, what materials do I have on hand? Because I don't want to go out and spend a bunch of money on basically a box that's going to hold the thing that I want to spend money on, right? I want to spend money on the what goes in the fish box, not what it's sitting on. If that does that make any kind of sense to y'all? I don't want to spend money on the stand. I want to spend the least amount of money possible on the stand. Yet another reason why I spent a long time figuring out, hey, how do I like to make my aquarium stands? All right, I'm going to look up every single kind that I could find and start to figure out the structural strength, figure out how much water weighs, where water needs to go, where things are going to happen, all that kind of stuff that all that stuff that's going to come into play. And so, you know, at one point in time, I think I did buy an aquarium stand at one point in time, and I if I recall, it was like $150, maybe $200 or something like that, which is absurd. Realistically, when you get down to it, it's like $200 can be a big giant school of fish that would be dope. That I'd be really into. But if I spend all that money for the box to just sit on, then I start running out of money, and then I can't put stuff in the aquarium. And then I start thinking about, like, what's the cheapest way to substrate the thing when I could have just spent $40 and had it done, right? And had the good stuff. But I think personally it's a great way to save some money. It's something that's worthwhile to do, especially if it's something that you've never done before. I definitely think it's something that's worthwhile to do. And what is this doing? Starting in the middle? What is with this video? Here we go. We'll make this one loop around. Sorry, this is handheld, and I was really running out of time. So I don't think I really paid too much attention to making this video super sharp and super fantastic. Oh, my arm hurts. But I think it's a real beneficial thing for people to start learning how to do, how you're going to build your stand, how you're going to make it, what goes into making it, all that kind of stuff. You definitely can save money if you're somebody like me who is a wood hoarder and has just a ton of pieces of wood and all that kind of stuff around. You definitely can make these for free. All the screws and wood glue and everything that went into this, I already had on hand. Like I said, the one thing that was really expensive, if you guys noticed, there happens to be a new chop saw in my shop. It's because Christmas came early. It's a gift from the Victoria, and it's not cursed. It is not cursed, that table saw, or not the table saw, the chop saw. It doesn't have a curse, and it doesn't try to cut off my fingers, which is super awesome. And I have to admit, it is like night and day using that saw versus my old clunky saw. I didn't realize like how much I struggled with that old chop saw, and especially the ghosts and phantasmas that come out of it and try to do ghoulish ghost things to me, if you know what I mean. Brandon Cox saying 70+ people watching. Everyone give it a like. Yeah, I think we only went over 100 people watching once today, or not once today, once this week. Wonder where everybody at, but everybody's probably a little tired. Apparently there was a lot of live streams today. Word on the street, y'all, that there was a lot of live streams today. Oh yeah, we got a lot less people today than normal. 100 people less than normal. Oh, all right. Whoa, 100 people less than normal. It's probably because my thumbnail wasn't that great, right? That's what I'd be guessing. And everybody out there wants ice cream, that's for sure. So I am hoping to get a video out this weekend. I don't want to disappoint, but tonight we are actually going out to a birthday dinner for a good friend of mine, Celia. We're taking her out to Dumplings. We're going out to Dumplings. And believe it or not, like at the South Center Mall, there's like one of the best dumpling places I've ever been to. And it's amazing. It's amazing, and we're probably gonna have a fantastic time. So, but that is the new aquarium that is going in. Obviously, it needs to be leveled. It needs the trim work done on it, all that stuff. I need to balance it out so that the top line of the tank matches with the other tanks around it, because it's actually 1.5 inches shorter than the rest of my tanks. It is a funky cube. It's not exactly square. It's obviously, I mean, if you really look at it, it's wider than it is deep. So, but it's a, like I said, I forget. I think it's 62 gallons is what size it is. So, it's definitely not a huge tank, but this is going to be the new home for the killifish. The killies are going to go over here and live out their days and hang out in here. I think in the meantime, all my extra plants and things like that are going to end up in this tank, and then at some point I'm going to go ahead and scape it. I'm not sure, but I do have a small 20-gallon tank that I'm going to build into a sump, so I'll show you guys how to do that with some acrylic action. If you guys are at all interested in making your own acrylic stuff, I'll definitely be showing you guys how to do that. It's not as difficult as you think. It's not as stressful as you think. It's a lot easier than you think. Most people think it's super crazy difficult. It's not crazy difficult, but it's not the easiest thing ever, I guess. So there's that. Not seeing any fish in those aquariums. There are a bunch of fish in all those aquariums. You just got to look close. This empty one is a brand new one. And I just wanted to give you guys a look at it on Friday so you guys can get a preview, because you're here for the live show, and you get a preview of some of the, what do you call it, produced stuff that'll be coming out. So let's see. Steven Skoglin, my local fish store has little itty-bitty clown killies, and I want them, but I can't get them yet. Well, you could go get them tonight. Let me see here. Vicky is texting me. You guys know I don't answer my phone unless it's Victoria. Let me see here. Vicky is saying, does Nisi post to Reddit? I don't know if Nisi posts to Reddit, but she's in the chat right now, so I'm going to ask her. Vicky says, why aren't we posting to Reddit? And I honestly don't have an answer for that. Oh, that's right. So Steven has got to finish his construction, which reminds me, if Steven had any questions about his construction stuff, I thought he was going to call me. But we'll figure that out. But I don't know why we're not. Reddit and I don't talk well. Okay, I'll let her know that Nisi doesn't like Reddit. And I don't like Reddit either. I don't like the fact that Reddit is like old forums. I don't like the old forums. I'm beyond it. I'm beyond it these days. I'm over it. We were actually talking about it in Jennifer Sarchicino's live stream earlier today. We were talking about the old school like bulletin board system and stuff like that. Reddit is sort of like an upgraded old bulletin board system, and I don't appreciate how it works. I don't like the interactivity of it. I also don't like the fact that you never really get to any answers or anything along those lines. So it kind of it stresses me out. Reddit stresses me out because it's normally just people trolling, or if you're like looking for an answer for something, there is no answer, and then you'll find like a 7-year-old question that somebody was like, you know, I need to convert, you know, something from high wattage to low wattage, right? And then you go on there and you read all these posts that are like 10 years old, and then a bunch of people start arguing about NEC code because one guy's in Tennessee, one dude's in Maine, and all this kind of stuff. And then the question never even got answered. And I'm just like, I get frustrated, and I can't deal with it. So no, I don't I don't go on Reddit, so I don't know. I'll see what Vicky has to say. That it must be really important to her. I'm guessing. We'll see what happens. So we'll see how that goes. T Frakes Tanks, is your audio turned down? I have to have everything full blast to hear you today. Yeah, we have a new audio setup, so I think the audio sounds pretty good, but it is a little quiet. So I'm working on that. I'm working on that because I'll actually have to run it through my mixer into the audio interface to boost it up. But they weren't playing happy earlier today. So, yeah. And I don't have an extra. I need. Okay, so let me explain why they weren't playing very well together. I need 2 XLR cables to run to the audio interface so that I can run the left channel and the right channel independently so that I can boost the signal of the audio up. If anybody's ever seen a mixer before, it's like when you watch a TV show and there's a guy with a whole bunch of faders and knobs and stuff like that. That's what a mixer is. What an XLR cable is this is an XLR cable, right? Actually, this one's like an Amazon Basics. Ooh. Amazonian Basics. I think this one was sent to us from the fan list from Matt Weber. Matt Weber sent us an XLR cable, but I'm actually short one, so I might have to just go to the store and get one. Yeah, so it does sound clear. I know that it is softer, like for sure. It's 100% softer. I don't know why. So I'm wondering if it actually is coming out in mono. That's weird. If it is coming out in mono, that sucks. And if this whole thing has been in mono, I'm gonna be pissed. Audio is only coming out of the left side. Wow, I wish somebody had mentioned that an hour ago. Hold on a second. What are we doing now? Is it stereo now? We shall see. We shall see if it's stereo now. Oh, you guys did mention it earlier. Well, somebody did mention it, but I didn't get it. Oh, it's still mono. It was like a huge discussion. Oh, all right. Well, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Still left ear only. All right, well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out one way or another. Let me double check here. Let me check. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. Well, I'll definitely figure it out. I don't know. So I don't know. At some point, I guess you guys did mention it, but I didn't read it. I didn't notice it in the read. While I was reading. Hold on. Let me try one more thing here. Hold on. Let's see if that. I wonder if that's stereo. I don't know. Maybe that'll be stereo. I don't know. But I changed the mix, so we'll see what happens. But either way, we somehow made it through. We somehow made it through on one channel. On one channel of audio. And I definitely appreciate everybody coming out. I'm sorry that I missed the comments about it being only on the left-hand side. Only on the left channel. Man, that's a real kick in the pants, ain't it? How weird. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let me try one more thing real quick. Let me try one more thing. Okay, it's not that. And then let me Let me see what's going on here. Do 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 do. Oh, can't change that while streaming. Okay, well, I'll figure it out. I'll definitely figure it out before the next time we go live, right? For sure, right? I'll figure it out. Let me see. What? Well, either way, it ends up, yeah, it ends up into a longer stream. Either way, yeah, no, it's definitely not raining on the parade. I definitely enjoy if there's something going on, people definitely tell me what's going on. If I say something wrong, which I definitely have in the past, and then I imagine that I will in the future, it definitely probably won't go away. That's for sure. But I do like to get feedback. The greatest place to get a hold of me is Joel at darkstararts.com. If you head over to Darkstar Arts, that's my website. You'll see a bunch of pictures there and a bunch of nonsense, and I think there's even some writing of mine over there. Yeah, there is. First week of getting sober back in the day. Edited version of some of the book stuff that I have in the works. It's just been it's a long time since I really did much work on that. Honestly, I mean, if it's been 3 weeks, I don't know. I might have set the stream to mono somehow. I don't know. I might have done something weird. I was setting everything up super fast. I basically got in here at 3:40 and had to get everything loaded and worked up in like 18 minutes. So I think I did okay. I guess everything running through one speaker the whole entire time is kind of stupid, but I wonder if I can check it on here. I wonder. Oh yeah, it is. I'm only on one channel. Hello. I wonder if hold on a second. I am a perfectionist, so I'm just gonna stay on here for a minute. Move out of the way. I'm actually talking to the tripod. Don't worry, I'm talking to the tripod. Here's what's cool. I can take the mic all the way over here. And then I can talk into the mic and figure out what the heck is going on here. Because that's the mix. And that's the mix going all the way down. Headphones is all the way up. And then wonder what that does. Oh, so the main out doesn't even change anything. And that should be speaker. That should be stereo, because now it's stereo over here. What did that do? Oh, that didn't do anything. But, yeah. That should be stereo. Alright. I don't know. It's in both headphones now, but who knows? Rolled over a USB cable, which was super helpful. I don't know. It's in both headphones on the playback now, so it should be stereo now, but who knows? Take off the one side earphone that's working. Do you hear anything on the other side? I did pan it, and now it's in both ears on the headphones. So, but when I did put the earphones on, it was only in one headphone. So I don't know. Maybe I'd have to restart the whole thing to get it back into stereo mode for whatever reason. But like I said, I'll get it sorted by the time a next stream will come up and stuff, and hopefully we'll be in both I don't know, speakers. However you guys listen to this. How do you guys listen to this? With headphones? No, I don't think anybody was complaining. I didn't think anybody was complaining. I like it to be good. And I guess if I only got audio running out of one side, it's not the worst thing ever, because normally when I listen to podcasts, I do it like this. Like I just got one earbud in, so like my head doesn't get taken off by airplanes flying at me or something like that. So I normally just listen to one. And maybe that's what you could do in the future if I screw it up, is like you just put your headphones on and then just like switch halfway through so you don't like burn out one ear. It's kind of a stupid idea, but I don't know. I'm on the spot. I'm on the spot. But I would love to. What happened to my phone? I'm just chaos today. I'm a mess. I'm a mess, you guys. Not in a bad way, but it's all right. I do wanna give a big thank you to all the patronizers out there for just being badass. It's super cool, and I'm gonna do my best to try and work the graveyard shift or whatever I can do to not ruin the show, because I want to keep doing this show. I want to keep doing this show and being able to show up and talk to you guys about stuff that's going on. So that's what I want to keep doing. That's what I'm going to keep putting my energy into, is keep doing this stuff. So that's my plan, and I'm going to try to stop saying so many freaking times. It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. Stop saying guy. There's words in there. Use the other words. But I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I will try to check in with you guys over the weekend and get some edited videos out and see how that works out with the schedule. Worst case scenario, I can edit on Sunday and hopefully get one out to you guys. Yeah. But hopefully Sunday at least I'll be able to get one out if I can't get one out tomorrow. But I definitely, like I said, I'm going to do whatever I can to keep doing this show. I'm going to keep doing this show, and I'm going to figure out what the heck I can do to do it. I tried to sell one of my kidneys on the dark web earlier, but nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it because it was used. They said it had too many miles on it, and they weren't interested in my late model old kidney. They weren't interested in that. They wanted a youthful kidney. So, I was kind of SOL on that whole situation because there's just no way I could find a young kidney. It's just not something I'm willing to do. Like, go out on the street and ask people if they have kidneys or something lying around. And Tim Lewis with the $5 super chat, man. Thank you. Thank you for your shows. I'm going to keep doing them. Whatever it takes, if that makes sense. What are your thoughts on flower horns from Manny Carolio? All right. Manny Carolio is a good part of the fish fam, so I'll answer this pretty quickly. I know that there's a lot of controversy out there around flower horns because they're a hybrid, and everybody gets mad, and everybody gets mad, and everybody gets mad. I will tell you this. I don't have a problem with flower horns. I don't have a problem with hybrids. I don't care in that facility necessarily, right? Like, I don't see it as a negative thing, even though there's a lot of connotation around it, that it's bad, that they're unhealthy, that they're this, that they're that. I get that it might not be the thing that you enjoy, like it's a butt ugly fish or whatever. I don't know. But there's no account for taste. You know what I'm saying? There's no account for someone's opinion, because just because you have an opinion doesn't make, just because you have an opinion, like you feel a certain way, doesn't suddenly make it a truth. You know what I mean? Like, because they're ugly, they must be unhealthy or whatever. And I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I've seen lots of them live for a really, 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 really long time. I'll have, it's always been one of those things where I just have to agree to disagree in the fact that they're not for me. So I'm like, okay, like, I don't like them. For a perfect, here's an example that I can throw in there that's maybe a metaphor, not a metaphor, analogy, metaphor, analogophore, I don't know, but a simile, something like that. I think it's a simile. I don't know. So let's say you're a fan of art and you think that Salvador Dali, his art is garbage. You don't like to look at it. You think it's terrible. You don't like it. That doesn't mean that it's bad, right? Just because you have an opinion that you don't like it. And your natural instinct wouldn't be to be, there's something wrong with that, right? It would just be like, oh, I just don't like it. I don't like that. But like human instinct means we got to like take it to some kind of crazy level of like making up stories and nonsense. And I think that's what happens to flower horns realistically. I just don't want them. It's like, it's one of those things. Like, I just don't want them. It's like, if you take a lot of cichlids out there, like I'm not interested in personally owning cichlids, like big, angry cichlids, right? But a lot of people out there really love them. I don't like the tank parameters and all that kind of stuff. It's just not something I like to maintain and whatnot. And the fish just swimming around kind of being angry and violent at each other or whatnot is just not my opinion. So, or it's just not something that I want in my personal fish room, right? That doesn't mean that I'm like, oh, we got to get rid of all of them altogether in the whole world or anything like that. But that's always kind of been the reaction for flower horns. So it's like, maybe you don't like Salvador Dali, the painter, and then you go, well, Picasso's the only good painter ever. So unless you paint like Picasso, then I'm not happy and I'm super mad and blah, 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 blah. So that's just kind of the way I look at those flower horns. I know it's very controversial and all that kind of stuff, and people get all super pissed about it. But I think it's fine, man. If you like them, then it's all good. I don't like the fact that they rearrange the tank and move around the substrate and stuff all the time. So maybe I would have some if they didn't do that. Maybe. I don't know. They're kind of a fun fish other than the whole digging around and doing all that stuff. Realistically. Let me restore the chat here. But thank you very much, 54 Punchy. Enjoyed the show. If that makes any sense. Let's see here real quick. Just Bob says $12 for the beard. Hey guys, I need some beard oil. Can somebody help me out? I need some beard oil. I've been using transmission fluid and it's getting a little funky. I need some beard oil from space, imported from space. But boo, Muhammad Ali. I don't dislike flower horns. I just don't want any in my fish room. Let's see. So hopefully everybody out there has a fantastic weekend. I'd like to catch up with you, but I don't know. I don't think I'll be doing any live shows this weekend unless like somebody super famous shows up here or something. But hopefully everybody had a fantastic week. Hopefully everybody had a good time showing up for the shows and apparently being in mono sound today, which sucks. Sorry about that. But I'll quickly remedy that whole thing. Phil Emerson says, I'm the best. Nah, you guys are the best. It really is cool to be able to come out here and talk to y'all and do this whole thing. Welcome to the 21st century, right? But everybody out there have a fantastic, weekend. Go crazy. I'm going to go see a movie this weekend. I think we're going to go see Justice League. And another friend's birthday, so we're going to go do that. But have a fantastic weekend out there. Don't go too nuts. Don't shoot off any fireworks. Certainly don't crash into anybody and then just drive off into the dark without pulling off to the side of the road and exchanging information and making that kind of simple. And if you work for the insurance company, go ahead and call me back, because it's rude that I call and leave messages every day this week and you don't ever call me back. It's kind of rude and it sucks. But have a fantastic weekend, and I'll talk to you later. La 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 la.